everyone, and welcome once again to the Rancher and Stilettos Presents Cocktails and Conversations. My name is Marshall Williams Cromer, and I am the author of the Rancher and Stilettos book series. Today, my guest is my friend, Ann James. I don't even believe it. I don't even believe you're actually talking to me on my very own podcast. And James, I love you. I love you. Anne is an intimacy coordinator in film and stage, and she has been doing this work for years. But guess what? A testimony to never giving up. Anne has been fighting for years to get people to see just how good, and I will go so far as to say great she is. She is the GOAT. I randomly was talking to another family member about hiring this lady named Ann James to work on the movie The Rancher and Stilettos. And I just put it out there that, we've hired somebody on, and he said, "Who is that, Ann James?" I'm like, "How is it that my cousin knows you?" It's crazy. It's just crazy. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad to
Thank
have you here,
you. Thank
sweetie.
you. It's good to be here. Thank you so much. And
How
I
have
am
you
a fan
been?
of yours
Oh,
because it takes a lot to write not three, but even one novel. And you're killing the game. So goat to goat, goat sees
you know
goat.
what? You know what? I'm growing up too, girl. I am growing up too.
Right,
I love it
right.
on this side, right? You
Yes.
start to see all the work you put in. I mean, the times when, you were the only one who believed in yourself. And then you start to see, wait a minute, this is something that probably we need to follow. And as I said to you before, I'm kind of stalking you on social media right now because you were part of the Tony winning show that show that just won the Tony, the musical. What was the name of it again?
The
The
Outsiders. Yeah.
Outsiders. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And getting a chance to see you with your dad on the red carpet.
On
So
Father's Day.
I know could not have written a better script. Absolutely beautiful.
That's
So
true.
talk to me. How's New York treating you?
Oh, New York City is my city, and I'm
Yeah.
so blessed to be able to make a living here. And I have safe, comfortable, gorgeous apartment to stay in. And, while we know that the economy doesn't offer that for some people in our country, that I've been able to do what I love and live in a city that I love and have a safe place to live and do that and thrive.
Right.
So I'm just
Right.
very grateful to
Right.
God. I'm very grateful to my family that has supported me in this artist life and this
I
black
know. I
sheep
know.
life.
I know. I
Um,
know. I
you
feel
know,
you.
so I'm just filled with gratitude.
Aw. And just a little background info. I'm in the city as well. So this is the birthday week. And I'm looking so forward to getting a chance to hang out with you on my birthday. Um,
Same.
9/11 is my birthday. And I wasn't living in New York when it happened, but it
Mhm.
was just so painful. And it was years before I could come back,
Yeah.
especially on my birthday. But a few years ago, I started coming back pretty regularly, and now it's like riding a bike. It's
Yep.
all good. It's all good.
Yep.
Well, I know that you have read the books and you absolutely love the storyline. And, we've talked about the fact that in addition to the group of women who are the dreamers being, professional Black women who are, making choices for themselves and building lives for themselves and their families, what is it that really just it resonates with you in terms of those characters, those dreamer characters, and how do
I
you feel
think,
about them?
yeah, I think what's really so central to your storytelling is that Black women deserve to be loved in many ways. They deserve to be loved by their community. They deserve to be loved by their very best friends. They deserve to be loved by the people who they choose to love, and that the road isn't as dark as you would think, with the climate of Kamala Harris coming into her own. I
Yep.
think that this story is a very rich story for women of a certain age who have been at the grindstone, carving out a life for ourselves, and that success can be determined in many ways. And the way you dive into success in love is so touching and
Oh,
so fortifying, that I really think it speaks to anybody who would pick up a book. I think
right.
they would find something that they could attach to.
You know, it's been surprising to me, kind of piggybacking off of what you're saying,
Mhm.
is how many women, even Black women, tell me, oh my gosh, I didn't know there were, Black ranchers. Well, most of us kind of started in the rural areas and migrated to the city. Some of us found ways to, I guess, make the country work for them. My parents both knew what to do with that land. They knew. My dad grew up as a rancher, and it was just not a hobby. He saw it as basically a second job. It was a second income for our family as well. But yeah, just to educate on the history of where cowboys come from, and technically they were Black people, okay?
That's right.
But that history has been hidden from us. And then to see the diversity within our community and have people to recognize and start paying attention to it. So to be able to tell that story that is basically, based on real life, that, and have people be educated by it and empowered by it as well, and to see themselves doing different roles also.
Yeah,
And
100%. And I'm a fifth generation Texan.
yep,
So, land has been a part of my history since we got here from
yep.
Africa. And my mom is a genealogist. She just does a lot of research about our family. And we found my fifth great grandfather, Anthony Garrett, who his father's papers we have documented in the 1860 census, I believe, and Anthony's father's birthplace is written Africa on that document,
Oh my goodness. Oh my
which
goodness.
is remarkable to
I
even have that
even have that
document.
information. Absolutely.
And so it's such a centering thing to know that we are Texan, you know, from our first steps onto this land on my mom's side.
Hmm.
And to know that that Anthony was one of the first voters in his county, that he did own land that was given to him by his previous owner,
Right.
um, and that land turned into a profit making thing for him. I don't. He wasn't a cowboy. He didn't rustle cattle or travel cattle across the plains, but definitely was a landowner that made money from his property and set us up for a successful, not only political life, but also a life in relationship to having things and to earning a living.
Right. Right. So let me ask you, I know you've read the books. I know you know the main character, Zaid. Is that your girl? Is she still your girl?
Zayd is just a testament to what it means to appreciate and respect yourself and know what you want and go for it.
Hmm.
And that's how I was raised. There's a lot of common energy that I share with Zayd. We're rooting for Zayd.
Yeah, Zaid is actually my favorite too, but that's kind of because we've got some connective tissue, if you will.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So, we talked about the next step, and that is, oh, absolutely, we didn't cheer. Hello. And you know what? The cheers are with coffee and water this morning because
Morning.
usually this is done later in the day, but hey, we can do whatever we want. We grown. All right.
Have a cocktail while you're watching.
Yeah, right, exactly. So fun next step is turning this loved child of mine into a movie. And how do you think that's going to resonate with audience? That first of all, remember we talked early on about just a movie, but I've got all this content now. So we're really bouncing off maybe an episodic series type.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, because it's just, yeah, you don't want to have to water it down if you can avoid it.
Right. And I
Yeah.
think leaning into the details of where they live and what their home life is like and how they interact with one another, and you know it speaks to an episodic,
Hmm.
maybe even start with a web series and see
Hmm.
if that gets picked up, and the characters are universal. So whether you decide to make a big feature film or whether you decide to move into TV landscape and do episodic or even the streaming world and do a web series, I think there's something for everyone. And I think people will be attracted to it in any form.
Do you think that would you think that there's more story out there for Zayd and the girls and their love interest?
Always. What about, Zayd, Zayd in Paris, obviously.
Hmm. Hmm.
What if she goes back to, back to the motherland? Maybe
Right,
there's a place
right.
where she finds her roots and she's curious about, what African landowners did and how that connects to her life and her DNA. Maybe she finds a record of where she's from and goes back to the motherland.
Another angle that I've been thinking about also is maybe taking each of the dreamers and profiling each one of them. Of course, all the girls would kind of filter in and out, of
Hmm.
the show or the episode, but the focus would be how that person, you don't get to see them, in totality the way you get to see Zayd. But I think that they have amazing stories, and those stories could definitely be fleshed out a lot.
Yeah, yeah, you can intersperse those, and maybe if you're doing episodic, you can do one episode on each one of them,
Yes, yes,
and then,
yes.
like they're at a party or something and one drifts off and then you get their origin story. And I mean, I think they're all very interesting characters, and they all represent a different type of woman, which
Yes,
is wonderful. And, all of those types of women deserve respect because all of those types of women are reading your books
I
and
know.
they would watch and feel seen,
Yes,
you know.
because they see themselves in one character or maybe
Yeah,
two characters, and they start to identify, with those people personally.
yeah.
And believe me, they will reach out to me going completely off
Like,
because I
why
feel,
did you?
yes, you got it, you got it. The storyline is they're not feeling it, and I'm like, well, that's kind of how it felt for me in terms of where I saw the story going. And usually, writing the end of the story is the easiest thing to do because then you just kind of back your way into to the ending from beginning. But anyway, I am so excited to just have you pull over for a little bit and hang out with me. And of course, I'll be seeing you later this week since I'm in the big city, the big
Yes,
apple, to celebrate my birthday. Looking forward to seeing you in real life. Okay.
I can't
Listen,
wait. I
we can
can't wait.
cheers out. I know you got a busy day. Thank you for joining
Cheers.
me. Much love. You know I love you, Anne, and I cannot wait to see you. And most importantly, you've given us such an honor to have the interest in this project that you do. And I look forward to working with you in the future. Love you, Ann
I
James.
love you. I'll see you soon.
All right.
Everybody, buy the book. Buy the books. Read the books.
That's right. Thank you. Bye bye.